Whoa! Hello, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite wrestling matches that occurred during July of this year, 2023. Now, this is a little series that I do pretty much every single month where I just name my 10 favorite matches that happened this year. I watched a whole lot of wrestling, a whole lot of movies. I have my main channel called Z Rice Films. You can subscribe to that in the description. But this channel, Z Rice Films 2, I like to take a look at a lot of wrestling because my main channel is mostly movie based. But I do watch a lot of wrestling. New Japan, AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor. I watch it all. I try to, at least. I missed a couple of WWE shows this month because I was mainly focused on watching the G1 Climax. And as you know, there are a lot of matches in the G1 Climax. There's like a show every other day, pretty much. So, here are my 10 favorite matches of July of 2023. Let's just start with the beginning of the month and we'll go down to the end, to the more recent matches. So I really liked two matches from New Japan Strong Independence Day, Day 2. First one being Kenta versus Eddie Kingston for the Strong Openweight Championship. Now, if you don't know, Eddie Kingston is a lifelong, die-hard Japanese pro wrestling fan. He's studied it. He looks up to all those guys, Kenta Kobashi, and all of those, Japanese legends. And so it was a big deal when, spoiler alert, he won the Strong Openweight Championship from Kenta. And not only was it very emotional, and you could just see how proud he was on his face and how emotional he was. It was a great match too. Eddie Kingston and Kenta both know how to put on a great solid match, so really enjoyed that one. Next up from that same show is the final death match between El Desperado and Jon Moxley. Now, before they had a tag team death match with Jun Kasai, who was Madman. He's crazy. Go watch Jun Kasai stuff if you're looking to be horrified. And Homicide, the legendary Homicide. But that match was pretty good, but I really enjoyed the one-on-one match, probably even more. El Desperado versus Jon Moxley. It was just really hard-hitting. El Desperado was getting the hell beat out of him. Yeah, go check that out. Another match for a couple days later on Collision, the July 8th edition, we saw for the Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. Now, this rivalry goes back decades ago when they first faced off in that trilogy of matches in Ring of Honor. But now they face off one more time. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. I was just about to say it's what you would expect, but it's not in a way because it's different. They're older now, I just lost my train of thought what I was going to say about this match completely, but it's a great match. Both guys know how to work. Very solid all the way through. I gave it 4 stars. Alrighty, next match we have from the following week up in Collision. The thing I enjoy about Collision is that they focus a lot on the wrestling aspect of wrestling. I mean, so does Dynamite too. But Collision more so than most because more than half the show is just pure wrestling, and that's what I like to see. Give me those matches. I was gonna say the following week on Collision for the AEW Tag Team Championships, the 2 out of 3 Falls match between FTR, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. Now, their first encounter was pretty good, but this one was legendary. I give it 4.5 stars. Just back and forth action between both teams. I had no idea who was gonna win. Eventually it was FTR who came out on top. Sorry, there's minor spoilers for these videos. I'll try not to say the winners too much because these matches are relatively new. But if you haven't seen this match already, then stop this video and go watch it because it is the best tag team match of the year, I would say. And FTR had the best tag team match of last year with the double dog collar, I believe. This is right up there with that legendary status. My goodness. Both teams can really go at it. Look at this. There's another Eddie Kingston match on here. And I swear to you, I'm not just watching Eddie Kingston New Japan matches. I'm watching everybody. But he's pretty impressive over there so far, I must say. On July 16th, the New Japan G1 Climax 33, Eddie Kingston versus Shingo Takagi. Both guys, I don't know if they've ever faced off each other before, but it was an interesting sight to see because both the guys are very similar in their weight class, I would say, and their chopping and striking abilities. So it was interesting to see how both would collide, and boy, they sure did collide, because this match is pretty brutal, I would say, just in terms of striking. And if you're really a fan of that stuff, then I recommend checking that out. Next up on AEW Dynamite, July 19, 2023, we have the Blood and Guts match. Now, it's hard to leave this one off because it was just so crazy, so brutal, so extreme. If you don't know, I'm a big fan of crazy, extreme matches, death matches, whatnot. Not a die-hard death match fan, that's all I want to see. But I enjoy all aspects of wrestling, and there is some merit in, blood and guts. Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Pac, Konosuke versus Konosuke, with Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Hangman, and the Young Bucks. Everybody was on fire, and it was great to see Kota Ibushi in AEW. I hope he comes back. I hope this wasn't just a one-time thing. He deserves a lot more. The Golden Lovers deserve to reunite at least one more time. I gave it 4.5 stars. Now we're moving on to 2 days later at the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. There was 2 matches that really caught my eye. I mean, there was a couple of them, of course, but these 2 matches, one I was surprised, both of them I was pretty surprised by, because I didn't think they would make this list, just based on the name alone. The Fight Without Honor with the Righteous and Stu Grayson versus Dark Order. Now, this has been one of the most prominent storylines if you've been watching Ring of Honor week by week. They keep setting it up, building it up, and they have had a trios match before in Ring of Honor a couple weeks ago. But this is a Fight Without Honor, the only match in Ring of Honor where there's no disqualifications. This is where when both parties got their blood boiling and they want to beat the crap out of each other. And that's exactly what happened. There was so much stuff in this match. Tables, Legos, thumbtacks, they used it all. And it was very, very entertaining. I give this one 4 stars. The next up is the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. They closed out the show in a main event, Athena versus Willow Nightingale. I gave this one 4.5 stars. By far the best women's match I've ever seen. All year, that is. Best women's match I've seen all year. I don't know, it was just great. I did not expect it to be at the level it was at. I love Athena, and I'm starting to love Willow a little more. This match was truly something special. If you watch it, great atmosphere, the crowd was into it. Willow's parents were in the front row cheering her on. It was great. It was funny because her parents were in the front row, and Athena would just be beating Willow up, and then it would cut to her parents, and her parents were like, "Woo, we're so proud of you!" And it was funny because they're just, even if their daughter's getting beaten up, they're still proud of her. Next up for also a New Japan G1 Climax match. It was hard to pick my favorite matches from this, because this whole list could be filled with G1 Climax matches for this year, but it was hard to pick my true favorites, and that came in the form of Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay. Another 4.5 star match. This match went all out. As you all know, Will Ospreay has been trying to beat Okada for years and years and years now. I believe their first encounter was 2015, 2016, I don't know. But it was a while ago. It's been a great number of years for Will Ospreay, and he's been trying to beat Okada clean. And, well, folks, you'll have to watch the match to find out if he did or did not, but I can say it's heck of a match. And as you both know, at least 2 are going to go down. It's one of 2 of the greatest who ever did it. And I honestly believe that it is Ospreay's time to win the G1. Okada's had it the past 2 years, and Kota Ibushi the 2 years before that. But I think it's Ospreay's time. And our final match. Oh shoot, we're gonna go into honorable mentions. Before I get to my final match, I gotta go into honorable mentions. We got the WWE Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet, Santos, Escobar, Shinsuke Nakamura, Butch, LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. This one was pretty good. Very entertaining, very exciting. Nice spots here and there. It's going to set up Logan Paul versus Ricochet in the future. Glad Damian Priest won, though I wanted LA Knight to win just like everybody else. When is LA Knight gonna get that push? Whenever he wins a belt or something, you're gonna sure see it on this list. So that was pretty good. 3.5 stars. Then another Death Before Dishonor match we have for the Pure Championship. Katsuyori Shibata versus Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is just a legend, of course, and Shibata is just a legend, of course. Daniel Garcia is making his way up there, and I'm glad Shibata retained the title, and just great match all around. And then we have the G1 Climax, Sonata versus Kaito Kiyomiya, 4 stars. Great 2 young guys. Kaito more younger than Sonata, I would say. But Sonata, of course, the world's champion over there. And so it was interesting to see how Kaito would fare against that, because he's done some great work in Noah. But next up we have Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Kingston. Now this is not the first time these two have met. This is not the second time these two have met. I believe these two have met on a number of occasions. This is another 4 stars for Eddie Kingston. He's just doing. Eddie Kingston might be the star of the month this year, I would say. Him and Ospreay. And FTR. Actually, there was just a whole lot of great wrestling around. And speaking of even more stars, this past week on Collision, we had the AEW World Tag Team Championships, FTR versus Adam Cole. This is not an honorable mention. This is one of my favorite matches, because I thought either team would win. I did not know who would win. I don't think it quite outdoes their 2 out of 3 Falls match from 2 weeks prior, but it certainly is on that level of consistency that FTR has these days. MJF has a good consistency level too. They all do. Adam Cole as well. So these are just 4 great guys. They could all easily be tag team champions. 2 of them are. And I honestly thought MJF and Adam Cole were going to win this. You know, I thought they were going to win, but they did not. Spoiler alert. And, you know, we'll have to see what happens with that storyline leading into All In London. Anyways, folks, if you like this series, I have a couple more videos where I talk about my 10 favorite matches of the month. And that's going to be in the link in description. So, subscribe. Mwah. Oh, also, I always forget to mention this, or I always mean to mention this. We have our own wrestling promotion. That's right, Supercharged Wrestling is a wrestling promotion that I created, and it's filled with storylines, characters, all sorts of things. I'll also leave a description to that. It's very cool, very exciting, very fun. Anyways, goodbye, mwah, and good night, bang.